says Hector can throw a ball 50 and 3/5 feet. Lee can throw the same ball 48 and 1/3 feet, which is pretty close, and it's pretty far, how far they can throw. How much farther can Hector throw the ball than Lee? So when it says how much farther, we know we're going to subtract. So we're going to subtract two mixed numbers. Looks pretty much, pretty well straightforward. So let's set them up and see what happens. So 50 and 3/5 take away 48 and 1/3. 50 and 3/5. Take away 48 and 1/3. Again, I've said this so many times, I'm not going to touch my whole numbers unless I need to. I'm going to first focus on creating an equivalent fraction for my fractional part. And I'll do that here. It's a good idea to use your scratch paper during the test as much as you can. Multiples of 5, 5, 10, 15. And if you're comfortable with finding a common denominator, you don't have to take these steps. But for me, I like to write out my multiples just to be sure I don't skip one. So the first number they share is 15. Okay, so now we can use that new common denominator to help create our new fractions. To go from 5 to 15, I multiplied by 3, so I'll do the same thing on top, which leads me to 9. Again, I'm not touching anything as far as my whole numbers yet. To go from 3 to 15, I had to do 5 times. And that's 5. And we are subtracting, so since we are subtracting, I notice the 9 on top is larger than the 5, so I don't have to borrow. I can just rewrite my whole number right here. And I know I'm still subtracting. My denominator is a common one, so I can write it down here. Now it went from being an unlike denominator to a like denominator. 9 take away 5 is 4. And 50 take away 48 is 2. And looking at the fractional part, 4 over 15, the only factors of 4 are 1, 2, and 4. The factors of 15 are 1, 3, 5, and 15. Since the only factor they share is 1, it's not going to change anything. So 2 and 4/15. That's how much farther Hector can throw the ball. 2 and 4/15 feet. So that would be choice B. So if you wanted to, if you look back at the question, once you found your common denominator, that will help you eliminate at least choices C and D. So then you're dealing with either A or B. So at least you've narrowed it down to 2. Then from there, if you continue with the process, you'll eventually reach 2 and 4/15 feet. F T for short.